Racing at Dick Lane Velodrome coming up shortly, just after warm-up here. Should be happening in the next... This looks like a slow warm-up, both categories, and maybe we'll be underway at 7:15, 7:20. Let's find out.
The Forbes list. Catch me on the Forbes list. The Forbes list. Catch me on the Forbes list. The Forbes list. Catch me on the Forbes list. The Forbes list. Catch me on the Forbes list. The Forbes list. Catch me on the Forbes list. The Forbes list. Catch me on the Forbes list. The Forbes list. Catch me on the Forbes list. The Forbes list. Catch me on the Forbes list.
I believe tonight we're doing track race, unknown distance, an elimination, a Marimore Crawl, and a Madison tonight. So right now we're doing our warm-up a little bit different. We've got anybody who's not doing the Madison, I'll go over what a Madison is later on, is out warming up right now. And pretty soon our Madison riders will be out. And they will be practicing the Madison, so you get a little bit of an idea what a Madison is. It does involve hand swinging your partner in and out of a race. Is that we do save some of the hot dogs and hamburgers for the riders for the end of the night. I imagine we may also be sending him to Wayfield to get more. I think he's grilling things now. If you see anything that you want, go on up there. We've got chips also. Some drinks. Trying to end the season with a party.
I can't be lonely when I'm not alone.
So right now we're going to be doing some Madison warm-up.
Work the bass.
Madison's going to be the end our night. The last race of the season is going to be the Madison. So right.
Work the bass.
This event is a team event. Riders will exchange. If you notice, the riders are color-coded. You've got riders that are coming by right now. The riders that are
Work the bass.
would be considered lead. And you have the riders who are up high. And right now you're about to see some exchanges.
Work the bass.
So there you have your first exchanges going on. So again, right now we're just warming up. Riders are getting the hang of it, getting the hang of everybody around themselves. Some key components of the Madison is that you cannot pass below a rider. You always have to be above them. The Madison is actually named after Madison Square Garden, or I should say the Madison Square Garden is named after the Madison. And at one point, this was one of the most popular events in the world.
London, Brooklyn, London, Brooklyn, Atlanta, London, Harlem, Brooklyn, Kingston, Atlanta, London, Harlem, Brooklyn, Kingston, Atlanta, London, Harlem, Brooklyn, Kingston, Atlanta. London, Harlem, Brooklyn, Kingston, Atlanta.
Looks like we had a little bit of a mishap. Looks like he's shaking it off. Both his lifted his arms in the air. That's a good sign. No broken collarbone. All right, looks like Val's okay. Probably going to be end of Madison warm-ups. So that means racing is about to begin. BC riders, get yourself ready. BC's to the boards, and Max Ostrike, we need a lap counter, and I believe your brother is saying you are it. BC's to the boards, please. BC riders to the boards for our first race of the night. For your last scratch race of the season. All right, just a second. We got Grace coming. Hold on just a second. And we're off with our 5-lap scratch race, our first race of the night. 5-lap scratch. It's the easiest. Scratch race is the easiest of all races to understand at the Velodrome. First person across after 5 laps will be the winner, which will be a little bit different than the elimination, which is coming up later on, which is the last rider of every lap is pulled from the race until you get down to 3. We'll go over that in a little bit. We got John Patterson over there in home stretch. If everybody's together, he will give them the whistle to start. And there we go. We got the start of our first event. Last scratch race of the season of the BCs. Who wants this? Rudy Kiefer out in front right now from Cheney Windows and Doors. Kamiri Swift in the orange helmet there, someone to keep an eye on. She was aggressive last week. Looks like she's wanting to keep that aggression going. Kamiri's first season at the Velodrome. I think she's been enjoying it. Definitely you can tell as she's been going along, been racing better and better and better. She's got Chaz Dockenhouse from Mac Racing sitting on his wheel. Amelia Hicks in that 3rd spot. We will be getting the bell lap next lap. So we're going to get the bell this lap, and there we go. The bell has rung. Chaz Dockenhouse out front. Amelia Hicks sitting on his wheel. Sebastian Russell in the all-black kit in that 3rd spot trying to bridge the gap. Amelia Hicks sitting on Chad Dockenhouse's wheel. About to have 3 wide. Chaz Dockenhouse leading the group through. Amelia Hicks sitting on his wheel. Robert Kugler coming around. Oh, and Chaz Dockenhouse with the win. Patrick Kugler coming out of nowhere, getting second. Amelia Hicks for 3rd. Close between Sebastian Russell and so officially, Chaz Dockenhouse is the winner. Patrick Kugler 2nd. Amelia Hicks 3rd. That's Kennesaw. That is Lucas Moyer. Jake Andrews. A-Riders to the boards, please. A-Riders to the boards. Jonathan, you got your Madison jersey still on. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Smart. And our A riders are out onto the track to do their last scratch race of the season. They're going to be doing 10 laps. It's a neutral start right now. John Patterson, wave your hand over there. John Patterson is our head referee. If he sees that they're all together coming out of turn 4, he will give them the whistle, and the race will start. And there we go. We have our start. Ben Eccles, number 168 from Outback Bikes, leading the group through for a second. Elijah Hoogley actually now out in front, trying to string the group out. Elijah is a good sprinter, but he's trying to drop the field. Oh, Elijah's not a sprinter? Well, I know Lemon is, but I thought Elijah was a pretty good sprinter too. And the A field definitely much, much faster. Pace is definitely high right now. Already starting to lose a few riders. Ben Eccles pulls up. Annalise Ostrike will be female rider of the year this year. Yet again, I believe this is her 3rd season in a row. Annalise also coaches our Bicycle Little League, or our junior kids program. I don't believe we can call it Bicycle Little League anymore. I don't think there's any NASCAR officials here, so I'm going to call it Major League Baseball here, so we're going to call it Little League. Definitely, we want to see you've got some riders this and Ben Eccles, our 2nd place rider of the year, drifted off the back down to just a handful now. Brent Davidson from Mack Racing, keeping the pace high. Pulling up and through. Dylan Lawson now up and through. Valentin Todoro. Now down to 6 riders. 2 laps remaining. We might be getting the bell this lap. And we are. Here comes the bell. And it's Daniel Brewer. Valentin Taduro sitting on his wheel. Daniel Brewer from Cheney Windows and Doors has been crushing it all season. Been racing in Europe. Racing in T-Town, Pennsylvania. Been racing very well. Valentin Taduro is the only one who can sit on his wheel. Looks like Daniel Brewer is going to come through for the win. Valentin Taduro, Dylan Lawson, Render Davidson, our top 4. We like to keep things rolling here. No rest for the wicked. BCs to the boards, please. BCs to the boards. We've got quite the crowd here that's forming at the Dick Lane Velodrome. We appreciate you all coming out. Those of you who are just getting here, just so you know, we've got hot dogs and hamburgers over there. Got a few desserts, some treats, got some drinks. Compliments of the East Point Track Club. Just go grab yourself some. BC's out right now for Unknown Distance, one of my favorite events. What does Unknown Distance mean? Well, the riders have no idea how long this race will be. Could be 1 lap. Could be 100 laps. We can only make it 100 because that's as high as our lap counter can go. It will be somewhere in between that. Just like the last race, if everybody's together, they will get a start. There's a neutral rollout. John's making sure they're all together. And he blows the whistle. The Unknown Distance. So several ways to think about this race. And Jake Andrews, he thinks it's going to be a short, that we're going to ring the bell quickly. He's just going to go for it all right off the bat. Try to maintain a lead and just see, hopefully, that bell will ring quickly. Not going to get it on the first lap. So now it's in Jake's head. He's trying to figure out what to do. Do I keep going? He's kind of committed now. Trying to get in a tuck position, trying to get comfortable. Keeping his lead. Will it be this lap? And no, it's not. Amelia Hicks trying to keep things together, trying to keep an eye on Jake. Jake still got that lead. Still no bell. Aaron Freeman now takes the lead. Scott Morgan sitting on his wheel. Clear. Thank you. Lap number 4. Will the bell ring? Patrick Kugler's hoping so, and it does not. All right, so now distance riders are going to start thinking that they need to try and string this race out, trying to keep the sprinters tired. Sprinters are trying to keep this as close as possible, try to keep everything together when that bell rings. Still no bell. Five laps in. Howard Buckley leading through. Will it be this lap? No, it is not. The suffering continues. Lucas Moyer now out in front from Kennesaw State. Thinking it's probably going to be a medium distance race. Trying to string the group out. Trying to drop those sprinters. 3 riders now out in front as they come up on lapped riders. One of those is Jake, who did not pay off for him to go out early. Sometimes it does. You just never know. Rudy Kiefer leading the group through. Patrick Kugler now in the hot seat. Still no bell. I think the person to keep an eye on is Chaz Dockenhouse, who's sitting in the back there, the yellow Mac kit. He's just been kind of letting people through, just keeping an eye on things. I think he's just waiting to pounce. As Amelia Hicks comes through, Sebastian Russell. And the all-black kit, Howard Buckley from East Point Track Club, number 15. Moving up towards the front. He thinks it's going to be getting close. You know, Howard's a veteran. Usually pretty good guesser. And there it is. Just as I said, Howard Buckley seems like he just senses it. Howard Buckley out in front. Lucas Moyer from Kennesaw distancing themselves from the field. Rudy Kiefer, Chaz Dockenhouse, Patrick Kugler desperately trying to bridge them back. It's going to come down to Howard Buckley, Lucas Moyer, Howard Buckley from East Point Track Club, Lucas Moyer, Patrick Kugler, Chaz Dockenhouse, rounding out our top 4. I think that was 12 laps, and now the A's are trying to decide if they did 12, what are we going to do? What does Nick have up his sleeves? All right, A-Riders to the boards. Josh, you can come down here and shoot if you want. If you want to shoot in the corners. All right, A-Riders are out right now for their neutral lap for their unknown distance. Again, the riders have no idea. Let's see if we have someone be at Andrews this time. Appreciate the effort from Jake. That was an awesome effort from last race. Let's see if someone wants to go from the gun. And there's the whistle. Dylan Lawson out in front. Annalise Ostrich sitting on his wheel. Our first lap done. Ben Eccles from Outback Bikes. Second place right now, currently in Rider of the Year points. I believe he's not going to be able to get points. Ryan Collins, who actually is our winner, is not here tonight. Surprised by that. Oh, and there's the bell. Jonathan Agee, he's the person to watch. Number 154. Jonathan Agee with the big guns right now. Render Davidson trying to bring him back. Elijah Hughley, who I was told is not a sprinter, is coming up 3 wide. Jonathan Agee. Elijah Hughley. Elijah. So, Nick, what were you saying? Elijah's not a sprinter? Elijah, even with a little bit of showmanship. Let's put your hands together for Elijah. That was a good win. He had to come from distance. We're probably going to give the BCs a few seconds rest. That was a pretty quick race. We'll give them a few minutes. While you're waiting, go grab yourself a hot dog, grab yourself some hamburgers, say hi to Michael Barman. What an unbelievable night to end the season. Seems like it's been blistering hot all year. Finally having a few cool nights. All right, so the exact opposite of what you just saw. Now we're doing the missing out or the elimination. The last rider of every lap will be pulled. They will get a neutral lap here in a second. So we won't be pulling any riders this first lap. It's the edge of their wheel. So there's several ways that you can do this race. Riders tend to either want to be off in the front. So Chaz Dockenhouse is going to need to slow things down a little bit. Oh, and there we go. All right, so a lot of riders will try to ride it from the front. That way they're guaranteed not to be the rider pulled. Some riders will try to head towards the back, and they will pick off riders one at a time. Like Aaron Freeman is going to self-select himself this first lap, just not feeling it. If you get a minute, check out Aaron's bike. It's a pretty unbelievable, beautiful steel Waterford. Brought it out special for tonight. He's just showing it off right now as he comes off the race. Number 28, Aaron Freeman. So Rudy Kiefer, he is definitely ensuring himself that he is not going to be the rider pulled, staying out in front. Grace Eccles in the hot seat right now. Who's it going to be? 3:01, and it is Grace. Rudy Kiefer extending his lead. We'll see if that pays off. Sometimes, as the race wears on, the riders start to catch up to him, and he starts to fade. We'll see if Rudy can hang on. Let's see who's in the hot seat now. It's Kamiri. 3:09, and it is Kamiri. Rudy Kiefer now with a full turn lead on the group. Let's cheer Rudy on. This is not easy to do. Chaz Dockenhouse in the hot seat now, coming up high. 252, Chaz Dockenhouse, a little too slow. 252, Chaz Dockenhouse. He tried to sneak up and through, just did not have quite the snap in his legs to do it. Ran out of room. Patrick Kugler now in the hot seat. Oh, 86, Jake Andrews down on the bottom. Sometimes that's a problem to be. Gets boxed in. Riders over the top come over him. He had nowhere to go. Rudy Kiefer still out in front, holding on to his lead. '26, Amelia Hicks running out of room. I think Rudy actually just put the hammer down. He extended his lead. He wants this win. It's now down to Lucas and Patrick. Ooh, 302, Patrick Kugler. Just edged out. Was close. 2 more riders to go before we stop eliminating riders. Looks like Howard Buckley is going to self-select himself. Howard Buckley from East Point Track Club's out. 1 more rider to go. Rudy Kiefer, the way he is going, he will be the victor. Let's see if anybody wants to try and chase him down. Sebastian Russell's giving it a go. It's now down to Scott Moyer and Lucas Meyer. It's going to be Scott 181, Scott Morgan. All right, so no one will get pulled this lap. We will get the bell. And it looks like Rudy. Well, let's put your hands together again for him. This is pretty amazing. Rudy from the gun out head of the field. That is not easy to do. It's now down to second and third. Sebastian and Lucas realizing that they cannot catch Rudy. It's now down to them. Matt between the two. Who wants it more? Lucas out of the saddle. Sebastian tries to accelerate with him. Rudy comes through for the win. Cheney, windows and doors. Sebastian Russell's now leading the group through. Lucas Moyer sitting on his wheel. Accelerates, tries to come through. Sebastian Russell, 146. Holds off Lucas from Kennesaw State. A-Riders to the boards, please. A-Riders to the boards. All right, what do you want to say? This crowd's amazing. I want to thank you all for being out here tonight. You give yourself a hand. I appreciate you all being here. I know the riders definitely appreciate it too. All right, A's, this is your last elimination race of the season. All right, we'll need to slow up a bit. They are not going to get a start. Maybe they will. Let's see. Looks like, I don't know. Let's see if John will. And we do. We get the starts. Let's see if Daniel Brewer, also from Cheney Windows and Doors, can go from start to finish. He is stringing the field out right now. We're going to have our first rider pulled. It is Render Davidson, who is in the hot seat right now. Render comes up and high. Looks like it's going to be Jonathan Agee, 145. That pace is high right now. Sophie Zentz. Ben Eccles now in the hot seat. Sophie's low. She's going to get boxed in. Let's see. 34. It is Sophie Zentz. We'll blame that on some parents who are allowing her to go mountain biking on Wednesdays instead. All right, next rider's up. Who's it going to be? Render Davidson again in the back seat, sitting in the hot seat. And it looks like it's going to be Render, 108 from Mac Racing. Daniel Brewer, just like his teammate, is out in front. I do not believe Daniel has relinquished his lead. Ben Eccles now. See if he can come up and over. 29. .288, Tyrone. I should know everybody by now, but it's getting dark up here, and my eyes are bad. Tyrone Edwards is out. Ben Eccles now in the hot seat. And it is going to be Ben Eccles, 168. From Outback Bikes, wearing that slick Masters national state championship jersey. Down to 5. 2 more riders to be left to be pulled. Valentin Taduro, Dylan Lawson. Oh, and it looks like it's going to be Elijah Hoogley running out of room. Number 75, Elijah. Winner of our last race. Not so lucky this time around. Annalise Ostrike has been looking good. Let's see if she can pull this one out. Looks like she's going to get a little boxed in. Trying to accelerate, coming around. Going to be Annalise running out of gas on that one. Number 1. You know she's good. She wears number 1. Neutral lap. No one will be pulled. They will get the bell. Daniel Brewer has not relinquished the lead this entire race. Up out of the saddle right now. Valentin Taduro is the only one that can sit on his wheel. Looks like Dylan's going to let this one go. He's happy for 3rd. Oh, and Val just popped. Daniel has been having an amazing season. Let's put your hands together as Daniel comes through. Cheney Windows and Doors win their last 2 races. Valentin Taduro comes in 2nd. Dylan Lawson in 3rd. Put your hands together for Daniel, as he comes through, winner of our last Olympics of the season, riding that sleek, sweet hand sling bike. All right, so next up is our Marimore Crawl. This is kind of a fun event. So how the Marimore Crawl works is, basically it's the slowest race we have out here. They will get one lap to go out as slow as they can until Nick decides to blow the whistle. And then it's an all-out sprint. The only thing is that they cannot cross the start-finish line until he blows the whistle. So some track standing will be involved. Or put a foot down. You cannot put a foot down. Or touch the boards. Or crash into another rider. A little strat here in the Marymoor Crawl. Sorry about that. All right, we're going to give it a few seconds. We're going to let Elijah, I think he had to take a restroom break. All right, I'm up here in the stands now. Let me see how many hot dogs and hamburgers we got left. How we doing, Michael Barman? We got plenty of food? Looks like we still got plenty of food up here. If you want some burgers, some brats, some hot dogs. I believe we even have some veggie burgers. Got Sweet Tooth. We've got plenty of stuff up here for that, too.
Everybody's thirsty.
All right, so I think I'm going to call this from up here. Let me see if I can get myself in a good spot. Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm good. Well.
Looks like we got a few riders who've chose not to do this. So again, this is what we call the Marimore Crawl. It is the slowest and fastest race you will see tonight. So they will get the start. They will do one lap, but they don't know how long that lap will be, so they cannot cross the start-finish line until Nick blows the whistle. So it really comes down to those who can track stand. And there we go. We've got the start. So again, the whole object of this, if you're a track stander, you want to come all the way to the front, just track stand. sit and wait until the bell or till the whistle is blown. If you cannot track stand, you're going to try and judge this as best you can. You'll see some riders who are just going to come straight to the front. Jonathan's feeling pretty confident. Render Davidson's feeling pretty confident. So they cannot. Jake Andrews just slipped off the track, so he's out. So you can't do that. You can't slip off the track. You cannot put a foot down. You cannot hang on to the boards. Cannot hang on to another rider. All right, so Jonathan Agee, he's about to set himself up. And there you go. He is going to start track standing. Render Davidson's now got himself in. So has Elijah. And now David Vargas comes up. Going to do his best track stand. Oh, Render Davidson's not looking good right now. Cannot cross that line. Oh, and David Vargas is out. Second rider is out. He just sits down, grab that man a beer. Ben Eccles is now out. That's a surprise. Oh, and there goes Elijah. So we've got our two cocky riders out in front right now. And then we've got everybody else kind of shuffling in as best they can. Got a little bit of uneasiness going on right now. So all we're doing is we're waiting for that whistle. Render Davidson's looking good. Valentine's running out of room. Sorry, Val. Gracie's out. Oh, Amelia's now in the hot seat. Running out of time. Oh, Amelia's now gone. Patrick's gone. We're just going to run out of riders pretty second. It's good. In a second. Daniel Brewer. Oh, there it is. Render Davidson. With a big lead. Howard Buckley, Scott Morgan, Lucas Moyer coming through. Sophie Zentz. On Wednesday. So that's our team event. We're going to give them a few minutes. We're going to give them All right, so our Madison is underway. Max, how many laps are we doing? Max, up here. Woohoo! How many laps are we doing? All right, we're doing 30 sprints every 10. All right, so this is a team event. So down onto the course right now, or down on the sprinter's lane, those riders are actually in the race. Now you've got the riders who are up top, which above the blue line is called the stayers line. Those riders will be, they are not technically in the race, but they will be the first time they are hand slung in by their partner. And ironically, Daniel Brewer is on a bike called Handsling. It's a UK company. It's a pretty sweet looking bike. All right, so here we go. We're about to have our first hand slings. They will do them in order. And remember, they cannot pass below anybody. Always got to go up high. And so there we go. Now we have our first hand sling, and now this group of riders are now in the race. I will try to keep you up to date as what's going on and who's and who. So right now we've got Dylan Lawson in the red kit trying to kick things up a little bit right now. He's out in front. Dylan Lawson right now trying to string things out. Group 3 trying to keep an eye on him. Orange group, which is, looks like Aaron Freeman and Jonathan Agee. And back a little bit. And then we've got Sophie and Amelia. So what they're doing is they are basically, so this is a points race. So they will be sprinting for points. Every 10 laps they will sprint for 5, 3, 2, and 1. Riders with the most points will be the winner. If you lap the field, you gain 20 points. If you get lapped, you lose 20 points. So now we've got 3 riders. They're coming around the backside. Red kid is Ben Eccles. Looks like that's East Point Track Club. Valentine Todoro up in the pace right now. It's now Valentine. Now David Vargas now in the race from East Point Track Club as well. Does have its advantages when you've been racing together for a long time. Valentine and David have been doing Madisons together for many years. David now is lapping the orange team. So unfortunately, things do get a little bit confusing in the Madison right now. We've got riders all over the place. We've got our leader coming through right now, David Vargas, East Point Track Club coming through. Daniel Brewer in the gray kit about to do an exchange with Elijah Hoogley. Dylan Lawson in the red kit is now in second or third. So here comes our leaders again right now. Here's our leader right now. Getting the bell. Valentin Todoro going for those 5 points. Elijah Hoogley trying to bring him back. Ben Eccles in that third spot. Valentin Todoro is picking up those 5 points. Elijah Hoogley picking up 3. Ben Eccles in the red kit picking up 2. Amelia Hicks picking up 1. David Vargas keeping the pressure on. Daniel Brewer trying to bridge up. Looks like we're going to have 2 riders out in front right now. Ben Eccles, Dylan Lawson starting to fade a little bit. Looks like we're going to have a 2-race show right now as they come through right now. They will go up and over of lapped riders right now. So we've got David Vargas keeping the pace high. Daniel Brewer sitting on his wheel right now. Just had an exchange. Valentin picks up the pace again. Daniel's been out there for a while. So one thing you can do, you don't have to exchange every time around. So a lot of times what happens is you try to get an endurance rider matched up with a sprinter, and you try to keep the endurance rider out there for as long as he can, and you try to sling your sprinter partner in only during those key moments because, you know, they're sprinters. They don't like to do anything for too long. So right now, Daniel just hand-slung in Elijah, who I did hear a lap and a half ago saying, I need another lap. So right now, we've got our 2 leaders right now, the gray and the blue kit. They're coming out of turn 2. Annalise from Team Mac is going to try and sit on their wheels. She can do that. She can now try to regain a lap that she just lost just by sitting on their wheel. So Madison always works best when we have a few more teams. It does get a little chaotic when we've got, it is towards the end of the season, so a lot of our riders have decided not to ride, taking it up or taking a break for the rest of the season. It's been a long season. COVID, everybody started racing in the fall last year because every race that was canceled during COVID happened last fall. Raced all through the winter, raced all through the spring, now through the summer. So our lead group is coming through right now. And just like that, Team Mac has now gained their lap back up on Team Orange. And that was the bell. A little late. Even our lap counter's a little tired for the season. Riders were paying attention, though. Daniel was paying attention. He's now going to come through, pick up those points. Now tied with Val. So Team Gray now has 8 points. Team Blue now has 8 points. Team Red is still on the lead lap. They have their 2 points, although they are about to go a lap down. So the riders love the Madison. Last Madison we were supposed to do got rained out. So luckily Nick threw it in, allow them to get their last Madison of the season in. So one more sprint to go. It's worth double points. I don't know if you just saw that, but Team Red realized they were about to go a lap down. They do not want to lose. If you go down a lap, you lose 20 points. Dylan Lawson wisely out of the saddle, accelerating, trying to stay on that lead lap. Our leaders now are coming into turn 3. Team Blue and Team Gray. Team Red right here is still on the lead lap, still picking up points as they can. It's come a 2-team race. Really comes down to this last sprint. This last sprint is worth double points. Not that really going to matter because only the 2 teams with enough points to win are out in front right now. Team Red would have to do pretty Herculean effort to bring this race back. Team Red's coming through, still on the lead lap. Trying to keep their 3rd place. Leaders are coming through. David Vargas now hand-slung into the race, sitting on Elijah's wheel. Looks like we're setting up for a 2-team sprint. Leaders coming through, checking off another lap. Daniel Brewer now about to get slung in. Wisely just kind of slows things up a little bit. There's no reason to crush it right now. They are, although Team Red is doing their best effort to try and catch back up. They're about a half lap down right now. Oh, Daniel has none of that. He gets out of the saddle and accelerates, trying to drop David Vargas. Vargas doing a good job sitting on his wheel. And there's the last sprint. East Point Track Club did just do an exchange, so Val is definitely refreshed right now. Let's see if this hand sling works. Let's see if Elijah can make up this ground. Elijah out of the saddle, trying to come around. It's coming down to this sprint. Valentine, Elijah coming up strong. Oh, and it is Elijah. His second come from behind win of the night. Rest of the riders coming through. Team Red's going to come through. I believe that's going to give them enough points. Jonathan Wisely comes through to pick up some points. I do believe they were a couple laps down. I'm not quite sure where everybody was, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. That was it. Season is over. Seems like it just started. I want to thank everybody for coming out. If you want, go ahead and stick around for a little bit. We are going to be cooking for the riders. We promised them that we would give them some food. Barman's got the grill going. Casey's got the grill going. So we're probably going to stick around here for probably another 30 or 40 minutes. Feel free to hang out, talk to the riders, check out their bikes. I want to thank you all for coming out. It's been a great season. I want to thank Nick Ostrike. Appreciate it, man. You've been in a great this year. Annalise, thank you for the kids program. Gary Morgan, our president, I want to thank him. Jason Jones, John Patterson, our 2 officials all season. Chris Annunziata, who does the Tuesday programs. Thank you. Rudy Kiefer also does Tuesdays. And Andy Bailey, I believe, also does Tuesdays. So again, that was it. We will start again next April. Thank you all. I appreciate you all coming out. The crowd has been amazing. See you next year.